share a lot of good stories and fun moments to share with us here, pair your career. But tell me, have you had any regrets, things that you felt should have happened in your life? Any regrets to share with us?
Sometimes in our sports career, things do happen, and you feel like, okay, this one, no, you feel like going back. But in my sports career, one thing that happened that let me feel I'm a type of person who doesn't feel my disability because I look beyond my disability and go get everything that I want. But during one of our national assignments in Maputo, I will never forget that our chair, which is our everyday chair, which is our leg, being stuck in Joburg for over 1 week, when that's on indoor without going anywhere.
Wow.
For all the para athletes that were in Maputo that year, our chair was stuck in Joburg. And the flight arrangement could not go down well. And our racing chair came with only 2 days for us to run our event.
Wow, that's tough.
That was some moment that we sit at one place. They will go to dining hall and bring us food. If you don't like, you like. We're so lucky to have the black queens with us at that year. If you like black ladies or the ladies were so good. They will go to the dining hall. Even some of our able-bodied athletes and we travel with were not taking care of us like how those ladies did in that year. So that was some moments for me in my sports career. I felt my disability. But in terms of regret, I didn't feel because I find joy that I'm able to do something with my upper body.
Okay.
That's the most something that keep me going, that okay, the leg is there, the brain is there. You can do it, the arms are there, the brain is there, you can do something with it. Look for the ability within you and forget about the disability. So that was something that was trying. So if I have some regret moment, that would be one of my regret moments in my sport.
Have you been engaged in any physical fights before?
Physical fights, I would say I always use my mouth for fights. I fight with my mouth. I don't have a physical mind. Fight with my mouth for the right thing to be done. Right thing to the right people.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah, you have the arms.
Yeah, the arms is for the pushing, the sprints. We all know in Sebo, we know Sapo Power, we know all those great sprint is like something you need to, in the racing, you need to have the upper body going, and it's one aspect also I'm deal of so much.
Tell me this before we go. If you're not doing sports, you're on your own, what do you do to get yourself happy? Because sports is your life, sports brings you joy. But if you're not doing it, what do you do to engage yourself in?
What I do in my leisure time was sometimes listen to music, and I love watching able-bodied basketball and athletics. And sometimes also I like to try to engage people, engage my colleagues.
Okay. So still here with me, a Paralympian who has been to as many world events and Africa Games as well, Mr. Pocho. Now tell me, considering the so many events you've been to and how successful you have been personally, how would you say support from authorities has been towards the para-athletes compared to the able sports personality? How would you rate that?
Yeah, in terms of support to the para sports, I always say less finance sports has always been the disciplines that suffered most in terms of international competition. I always say that nobody hates football. We all love our football.
You love it when you've been growing up.
We love our football. But the national cake needs to be shared equally. It's not a crime for somebody to choose boxing, tennis, table tennis, or para sports, be amputee soccer or a wheelchair basketball player. If we believe that sports is something that is a job creation, then we need to support it. Sometimes the support will come in only 2 weeks to be tournaments. 1 week, 3 weeks, maximum will be 1 month to tournament. I always say, if you spend $9,000 on me, preparing me, and I want gold, and you give me $1,000, I will appreciate it. because the ultimate is to get that gold medal.
Yeah.
But if you promise me $10,000, go and win medal, and you'll be given that, with that no effort put in, no preparation, it means that one way or the other, excuse me, you are insulting me.
Exactly.
You are just telling me that it's not possible. So the support has been less. There's more room for improvement. They are doing some supporting, going to international. They are doing some, but I believe your preparation always determines what you get. We should focus on the preparation. With that qualification, you can't go to World Cup.
Yeah.
With that qualification, you can't go to the Olympics. What are we doing? What are we putting in terms of the qualification? That's where it matters. And if athletes perform in the international, what is the measure? How do we reward them? How do we celebrate them?
How much of allowance or bonus have you gotten from your result of gold medals and all that? How much have you been paid?
Yeah, sometimes in the All African Games and other games, they set out that, okay, if you win gold, you win silver, you are entitled to maybe 5,000, 3,000, 2,000 US dollars, depending on the game you are going. And sometimes you find it like, oh, okay, sometimes you are closer of winning gold if you were able to get a good preparation. And sometimes the limit will be silver, it will be bronze and all those stuff. So, Botyso have done a lot for this country in terms of international game. But most of this has been through the support of individuals. So be corporate bodies, from individuals who believe that whatever I'm doing it to inspire people to change other people's lives. So they come in and support. My racing, from my equipment, like my racing chair, I start competing for Ghana for 16 to 18 years now. None of my racing chair has been bought by Ghana.
So you mean that
equipment side,
the corporate or the individuals support has been more than the national.
But in my sport life, and that's something that we are looking for, that it should change as we keep on trying to put more infrastructures. The minister, as you can see now, kudos for him for all the infrastructure they are putting in place to make sure we have that kind of zeal or happiness to do the sport, the facility. Facility is one key aspect of sport development. It's a plug. But the resource and the motivation aspect also is one of the key. Because you can have all the nice infrastructure. If you don't get the human resource to go in, how do you motivate those human resources, people to get involved and go in and do it? So those are things that some of us are championing, that we should have a proper supporting measure in place for athletes who are doing sports as their job. Some of us, the sport has been our career. I don't have any job apart from the sport that I'm doing. So we should put a proper measure in place to motivate more athletes of coming in. Those are colleagues in the roadside. Some of them will come in, if they don't have nothing, they will go back to the road. Some of us will keep on staying because we are trying to pursue something. We know what we are heading towards. But those who doesn't have that strength, it's only that aspect that can motivate them.
Well, it's a big call here for the president. You've already mentioned that you wish to meet the president of the land one day, and I'm sure he's listening, or he'll be listening on this one, and he has to find time to accommodate you for the fact that you've made a lot of good laurels for yourself and the nation, winning gold and winning all the silver and the bronze, both on the world and the local fronts on the continent. Now, the issue here is, in terms of money, Black Stars, for instance, some have been paid $10,000 for bonuses and all of that. You claim that individual support or corporate support has been more than what government puts in. What do you think the minimal rate at which government can support in terms of financial? Because you've mentioned that you've been to Maputo Games and you guys were stranded, your chairs stuck somewhere else and nothing. It has to take a week for that to come. It means that there's a lot of ways that you guys are demotivating. How much little can government put in terms of your winning bonuses and all that? Is there any structure to even help you in that regard?
For me, what I keep on saying, like, we cannot say that we want to share, we are demanding what they are giving to Blaster. But 10, even sometimes 10% of what they are giving to Blaster, if it's being given to some less financed sports, they will do massive work. Because sometimes the whole team of 10 will need only $5,000 to travel to a competition, and there's no money. And you can see a winning bonus of Blaster. And that alone for one player. And if you hear that, and you see that some discipline are struggling to get 10,000 for the whole 15 teams to travel, and they can't get it, and you ask yourself, which kind of how are we sharing the national cake in terms of the sports? You see, as I said,
they say that football brings back some money. When the Black Stars go for World Cup, there are times that they bring back $8 million, and it goes back to the government. So maybe they've inputted something comes back. How about you, individual athletes? You go in, the government feels, well, you've gone out there to go and do yourself proud, but how much money comes back to the coffers of the country?
If that be the case, then everybody, we should forget about developing all other sports. We should develop only football.
Okay.
It's representing your nation in Olympics. Do you value the adverts or how you have put the country in the standard map? Marketing Ghana. That alone. Do you know the benefits that come with it? If you want to talk about only money, do we think about the other side of the coins also? Because we have so many able-bodied athletes. Azuma Nese is not a footballer. Abeko is not a footballer. Krote and Ali, they are all not a footballer. But look at where they put Ghana. I'm not a footballer, but anytime I travel, people get to know Ghana through me. And that's what we are talking about. The motivational package for other people also to go to other sports. What measure are we putting in place? That's why I said that the YEA things that they are doing, I've been the first person who have talked about it. I salute it 100%. We can't have any kind of support in this time that we are in. It's a right timing in the right moment. But in the long term, can we sustain this? Can it be something that can be there to encourage athletes? Somebody can say, okay, now if I'm going to athlete, every month I can get something small to take care of myself and give some to my parents. Do we know how people used to be trooping in to do sports? How some of the disabled colleagues will be motivated to get into the sports? That's the aspect we are talking about.
So that's a way of creating employment for the unemployed. And there's so much that can be offered in that regard. So it's a big call from Mr. Botyso here, and I'm sure authorities and governments have chanced on this and will finally, after so many years of plea, get to their core and make sure things propel well in development of this nation. It's just a matter of time, we keep saying, but this, I think, is the right time. I'm sure you still have some impact to make to the world. Your final words to the up-and-coming athletes or paralyzed people who are out there. So many guys on the street, what do you make of them? The fact that they've given up on life and decided to, well, let me be a beggar. What kind of words can you tell them to inspire and change their mentality towards making a living and making a life for themselves and the family?
Yeah, my advice to my colleagues up there in the roadside is that's always simple. I always started from the parent, our able-bodied parent side, that we are from a family. It's two couples who get together and make that love and give birth to us. Even we are physically challenged, we are from a family. And if you are building a house and you don't have a strong foundation, the house you can't build a good house. So it means that if you don't support us, we can't do whatever we are doing. So the family up there that have a disabled children in their family, let's give them the equal opportunity, equal platform. Let's support them equally. And my colleagues that on the roadside, I always say that there's something unique within you. What you need is to allow yourself or look for opportunity to explore that kind of talent. Being the roadside might get daily something, but in the long term, you cannot be there forever. Look for the ability within you. Never give up. Never look down upon yourself, because disability is not inability. We can do something. That's why I say, go get them. Look beyond your disability and go get everything that is beyond the disability. So my humble advice on colleagues is that look up to your ability and work towards it.
You sound very inspirational, motivational, and the fact that you're a leader also makes it quite inspiring. Don't you think you should aspire to be a leader, probably of the country, in some time to come?
It's something that's something that some people are talking about. Some people are making some arrangements for it for me because they see me more out. Like anytime I talk, they see that kind of thing within me. And I know a lot of people have played a role, and I know Willie and Co have supported, put the story out there. So we hope that people who are trying to help me in that manner also help. And myself, I'm looking forward to it. But what I'm doing more now, inspiring people, I think that it's part of my core. And I also believe the talent I'm having is given to me by God. And serving God is serving others, using the skills to change people, to inspire people, to change that kind of perception. That's let's support the ability that is in us, the strength, that hurts. That's what we need to look for.
So we should be looking out for maybe 2024 flag bearer for one of the political parties leading the country, because from what you said, it looks like you have the potential to be a leader. So maybe 2024, or it's too far.
We should look for maybe in the technical team handle the para team, not political area.
But you can do it. You sound like it, and I'm sure from your experience leading teams and all that, you can do that.
Yeah, there's so many places
we've seen paralyzed flag bearer before.
Alan.
So you can also equally do that.
Yeah, my strength is within the sports. I always believe that as a person, you need to focus on where you can make impact. And my impact will be more seen in the sports side, in the para sport. That's why even if I retire from acting sports, I'm looking forward to be a coach. Maybe 2024 might not be me going to the Olympics, but I might be in the Olympics with some of the up-and-coming athletes. Yeah, as a coach and all those stuff. So that's what we are pursuing. The political, we leave it to the other people who handle the sports politics side.
Okay.
We will keep on pushing, lay down proper measure for sports people to enjoy, like something that is coming our way. We are in great, but in the long term, it should be something that can be sustained, not only 6 months.
Thank you very much for your time today. It's been a pleasure having with me today Mr. Raphael Nkegbe Bocho. He is a Paralympian. He's been to almost all the world events you can think of, and all the African Games, and even including the Commonwealth Games. Such a successful athlete he's been in his career, and a responsible man with 3 kids and a wife. That has been today's edition of the Sports Show here on Sportsnet GHTV. The name is Eli Kondo, and there's a lot more you can find out on the space. Keep in touch with us and enjoy more and a lot of our intriguing interviews. It's a wrap for now. Thank you.
Your dreams can come true at Lakeside Estate with 24-hour security, a police station and a serene environment. Lakeside Estate gives you the house of your dreams as well as absolute peace of mind. Make the move today. Move to Lakeside Estate.